Hi, we're at Anza-Borrego Desert. We're doing some dispersed camping right here. And I got some really yummy, I'll get up here real close, pineapple sausages to cook up on the grill. We're going to have some dinner and then we're going to be back and talk to you about our stay here, what we did, and what we thought about everything. So be right back, let us get a bite, and we'll have a fire and talk about it all. A little fire going here, if you can see it. You'll say, why do they have it in an oil drain pan? Well, when you disperse camp here and there's no fire ring, some of the primitive places have them, some don't. You have to put it in a metal container so you can take your ashes and everything away with you. This whole area, they have the whole gambit of campgrounds, either the state paid campgrounds, the commercial paid campgrounds.
Yeah, we didn't have any reservations or anything. You just come on in and
find a spot. Even though we hear that there's a 30-day stay limit here, I can't find anything written about it.
Nope.
Nobody knows anything about it. So I believe that if you're dispersed camping or you're using the primitive campgrounds, I think that you can stay for as long as you want.
Pretty much
within reason.
Unless you get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you're causing a bunch of trouble. Then
you
they'll
may
probably
get carted off.
Yeah, they'll 86 you out of here. But unbelievable that you can have an area. There's no checking in, no nothing.
Yeah, so we just arrived here and parked it here. The spot was pretty quiet most of the week. This weekend it's pretty busy. That's why you hear some traffic coming by. There's a big truck to do down the street here.
Yeah, four-wheel drive jamboree.
But overall, if you come here during the weekday, it is awesome. It is pretty quiet and relaxing. And we did a lot of exploring here.
Yeah, we did. So let's talk about what we did around here.
Yeah, a lot. We have had a full week of exploring. If you have a tow vehicle or a Jeep or four-wheel drive, there's a lot of trails. If you don't, there's still a lot of places you can go, even with two-wheel drive. We will link some videos to some of our little explorations for that. But we went, I think my favorite was Blair Valley. That was really great.
Yeah, Blair Valley is probably about, from Borrego Springs, it's only about
30 miles,
about 30 miles at the most, maybe 45 minutes to get there tops. But it's primitive camping with no fire rings, but they do have a pit toilet.
Yep.
and you can camp throughout the valley, and it's really peaceful and quiet.
And we had AT&T self service there.
Really good service, actually.
I don't think Verizon gets it. Someone we met said that she didn't. Shout out to Marianne. Yeah, she was a really nice lady. We met in Blair Valley.
Yeah, so there's a few things that you can do there. And our first stop was over at Ghost Mountain.
Ghost Mountain. And that is where Marshall South and his family, in the 1930s, he was kind of a front runner for his time. He came to the desert there he was a novelist and a painter, and they came to the desert to build a home and just live off the land back then.
Right, but just not any place.
They built desert.
Yeah, you're talking, this is a pretty isolated area, and you can tell by the pictures and everything that you see that he was on a mountaintop. It was over 3,000 feet. And, they had to carry water into this place when they couldn't use the catchment to get enough water. And they had to carry everything in there.
And all the stuff that he has cisterns up there, and there was an old bed spring up there. So he hauled all that stuff up there. And it's either him or his 3 children.
Or his 3 kids and his wife. But, yeah, the trail's kind of steep.
It was only a mile hike. So that
mostly uphill.
Yeah.
But it was such a beautiful place, and really enjoyed the hike. And it's he was like the hippie forerunner, I think.
Yeah.
Where he lived in isolation, and he wanted freedom, and he wanted to be able to have his mind clear so he could write and paint and these things.
Now, we heard some different stories about him, so we're not sure about him. There are some colorful stories about him, so we're going to find out. Maybe put somewhere in this video a little bit more about him or a link about it. But he wrote some books, so we may want to go check that out and see what he wrote and who he was.
After we were down there, we actually took another hike.
Short one.
A short one, and it was...
half a mile round trip.
Right. It was called the Mortoras Trail. I know I'm butchering it totally. In like a kitchen area where the Native American women would have been preparing food, grinding it, you know, making things. And I guess the different size holes meant that they were grinding different things. Like you have the larger holes, and I don't know what they were grinding in them, but I can tell you that the different size holes meant that they were grinding different things in order to prepare food. And this would have been probably, you know how it is, hanging around the food bowl in the kitchen. This would have been a pretty busy place here. This hillside over here, if you can look closely, you'll see agave, along with a lot of different other kinds of plant life, and a lot of it. And this is where they would have gathered a lot of their food stores that they would use to make things with. So they didn't have to go very far to get the plant life they needed to make things.
To the grocery store.
Yeah, the grocery store right here.
Right
in
next
the wild.
door.
I don't see anything edible, but they must have.
From there, we drove a little further, and then we went to
the Petroglyph Trail. And it was another, you know, shorter trail, you know, what was it, a mile long?
It was 2 miles.
Round trip.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad.
No.
And you went out to a spot where there was some petroglyphs. And it was really interesting to see. And it was just a fun hike. So all 3 hikes that day, it was probably about 5.5 miles total.
Yeah, we felt a little bit in our legs, but it wasn't that much. It was the heat that day. It was probably the hottest day of the whole week.
Right. But if you're feeling some aches and pains from those hikes, just a little ways down the road, not too far, was a county park, Agua Caliente. And what a wonderful place. And I'll let Anya talk about it. I'm going to throw another piece of wood on the fire.
It was, it really was nice. We wanted some showers, and that was one of the places that we'd seen that had either free cold showers to go with spending time at the pools, or you could have some hot showers for a few quarters. Well, not only is this a great campsite, as you can see, but they also have therapeutic mineral pools. They had 3 pools, one a little warmer, and one kind of more of a pool, and then the inside one was nice.
Yeah, the inside one that they had was pretty warm.
Yes.
But the building, they could open up the roof on it, which made it really nice.
It was really nice, and it was only $3 a person to use that county park for the day, and it was open at 9:30 till 5 o'clock for the hot pools.
Right, and for those who would camp there, the use of all the pools and stuff were included, from anywhere from $29 to $34, depending on how you camped in and everything, with hookups or not. And the campground was nice, and there's no cell service within that campground.
No.
But there's a little bit down the road.
And then we wanted to do a little bit more exploring with the Jeep, although Blair Valley was that way also. Then we went to
a place called Alcatilla Wells, and that's an off-highway use area. And you got me all messed up.
Sorry, it's getting really hot.
There.
Thank you.
We took a trip to the south side of the park, and we were going to go see a few things over there. Along the way, there's the Alcatilla Wells off-highway vehicle use area, and that's what kind of the mecca around here for people that want to do off-roading with their vehicles or motorcycles or whatever. And they had a nice kind of primitive campgrounds in a way, but they were nice. But they did have pay showers and trash service there, so that was kind of nice. And I'd been out there before in the past, and I'll tell you, there's a lot to see out there if you like that kind of stuff, and it's a ton of fun. I can't say enough about it.
Yeah. But from there we went a little bit further down and got to Split Mountain Road, and went down that to a trail where you can see the elephant tree.
Yeah, and the elephant tree, it's the only one in Anza-Borrego. It's probably the only one north of the Mexican border. I guess they're more prevalent south of the border. There's more of them. And but this is the only one that they've ever discovered here, and they discovered it in 1937. And the trail was what, a mile loop?
It was a mile loop, and the highlight of that is because right now we're here when the wildflowers are out, so the barrel cactuses were blooming, and the elephant tree was big enough to give us shade for a nice lunch. We're out there, and it's a beautiful tree actually. And but from there we went down to that we really wanted to take the Jeep down this Fish Creek Wash through Split Mountain, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you went by the Fish Creek Primitive Campground. That was nice.
It was just nice place to stay.
Yeah, you went through this canyon that looked like it was out of like Star Wars or Indiana Jones kind of a thing. It was really awesome. And then you ended up at a trail where you went up to see the wind caves.
Yes, which was really cool too. And this really neat area, really spooky kind of area. But you can keep going. Those Jeep trails just go and go and go. How many acres did they say of off-roading?
Well, I don't know how many acres, but I do know that there's like 500 miles of dirt roads around here.
Right.
That you can actually go on.
I mean, you just can't get bored here. I mean, you can ride your bicycle here, mountain biking. A lot of places you can get with two-wheel drive, and you can walk it. We went to the Palm Slot Canyon, which is beautiful, just to park your. We drove down there with the Jeep, but you can even go down there, walk down and walk the Palm Slot. It's just kind of a neat thing to do, to walk in the Slot Canyon. Yeah. Brought it out right here, and look how cool this is. Bob's already way ahead of me, so I'm gonna try to catch up. Widening up over here. Cool.
And then you can come over here to go to Peg Leg Smith's monument.
Oh, Peg Leg Smith.
And boy, what a character he was. You know, he led expeditions throughout the Southwest and was a horse thief and claimed he had a fabulous gold mine here, and would sell shares in it to people, even though he couldn't remember where he found it. But one of the fun things that we would like to come back for, is on April Fool's Day in the evening, they actually have a contest here.
Yes, a liar's contest. I guess Peg Leg Smith was a real liar. It was another one of these colorful persons that was here. I guess that's why we like this area. But it's a liar's contest, and they have a campfire. We hope to, if we're not too far away, we'll come back for it. But anyway, we kind of like it because he was kind of like a man of treasure, and knew a lot to people. He met people like Kit Carson,
because he was a fur trapper, I guess, in the early 1800s and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so he was with all of those kind of guys.
Yeah, so for us, as treasure hunters, we love those kind of colorful persons. So at his monument, there's a place to camp too. Also dispersed camping there. And from there, if you go Henderson Road there, the wildflowers right now are blooming. So from there you can get to the Desert Gardens, which is a beautiful trail. We'll show you a little bit of that here.
Yeah, and you can drive on it with your car.
Right.
So every place that we've told you so far here, we never went in a four-wheel drive, so you can get to it in your car. And
Depending on what, of course. Some places had some pretty good sized rocks.
right, you'd have to
so
go
you gotta
around
be
them.
real careful with that. And of course, depending on what weather situation you
Right. But you go out to Desert Garden, and it's a beautiful little drive.
have.
And on the weekends, we went out there on the weekend. It was really busy, a lot of people. But you end up out at the picnic area there, and it's just a really nice place with beautiful surroundings.
And if you're really big in four-wheeling, you can keep going to Ship Creek Canyon and Coyote Canyon. Bob's done that way back then.
Way back when.
And then from there, Borrego Springs.
Around, in and around Borrego Springs, there's like about 130 metal sculptures like dinosaurs and serpents and horses and everything that
Awesome.
you can think of. And it's Ricardo Bracida, who was a sculptor, and he put it out on the Goleta Meadows estate property. I guess it's a trust that owns a lot of land here, and these things are spread out all over the area. And there's little dirt roads that you can get to all of them.
You can drive or ride a bike
or walk.
and
Yeah, it's really fabulous. And besides doing that around here, you know, the other amenities is, you know, in town they have everything that you need. Small little grocery
got
stores.
some good little restaurants.
And a hardware store that has pretty
well, the
much
True Value
everything.
that had this.
Right, that had the pan that were.
And a pretty good market where we can get some water, jugs filled for, once again, 25 cents for drinking water.
And then there was the Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
where you can get information, and they're really nice. And if you show up there and go in and ask them for the key to the dumpster,
If you have a little bag of trash.
yeah, for little bags of trash, they'll give you the key, and you can throw your trash away there. That's such a bonus for people that are out here dry camping. And then you know, if you have, you know, Verizon, or maybe you have a laptop, the Wi-Fi in town, you can go to the public library, or Christmas Circle, which is
That was actually better and nicer.
yeah,
too.
a beautiful little traffic circle in town with a park in the center. And they had pretty good Wi-Fi there for free, and you could go ahead there and use it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we did all of these different things here, and you know, our final thoughts about all this would be, the first one is, would we come here again to do some things?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the deserts where there's so much to do, and with our Jeep here, wow, we can run out of trails for a few months probably.
Yeah.
And so this is a desert that I would probably be inclined to stay a little bit longer. Well,
Yeah, overall, I can't say anything bad about the place. I think there's 10 times more pluses than any minuses. I can't really think of any minuses here.
no.
Just thank you for watching Follow Our Wanderlust
Yeah,
again.
thanks again for coming along with us on another little adventure. And we don't know quite yet where we go from here. We have a few family things to take care of, but we'll let you know on our Facebook page, Follow Our Wanderlust. We'll let you know where our next adventure will take us.
Okay. Well, thanks.
And please subscribe if you can.